I just have an argument that this is a slightly deeper contest. Made a lot of ground up last time, but another question relating to him at the moment is whether he can follow it up with a slightly inconsistent profile of late. Number 4 is Annie Law. She's a daughter of Havana Grey. She's trained by James Fanshawe, who's trekked down here from Newmarket. She's on return. We haven't seen her since November. She did win her penultimate start at Kempton, and she actually won 3 races last year. It's a career joint high mark on return, so she could conceivably need this. 176 days off the track. Right, Thomas Aquinas, number 5. Rab Havlin had a winner earlier, extremely easy winner, and he's had to wait for the next ride. That's Thomas Aquinas, his old mate. He's got a very good record on him, and it's good to see him back. All 4 wins clocked up here. We haven't seen the horse since winning in early October. Look, scratch the Southall blot on penultimate start of last season, and if you scratch that, he landed a hat-trick, or he did land a Chelmsford hat-trick at the back end of last season. Returns off a mark of 62. That handicap he squeezed home to win when last seen, that's had boosts. The second, the third, the fourth, they've all won. One thing I would note is that the cheap pieces have been left off. All 4 wins have come when using them. And as Rab said in his interview earlier, Dean Ivory's struck with a winner recently, or in recent enough times, so maybe the yard's starting to return to something like things. Number 2 is next. That is Golden Passport, 1 from 12 altogether. That sole win came with Ed Walker. This is the 6th start for Jamie Osborne and has dropped £10 since December in the time racing for the yard, and would need to show a bit more. The blinkers that have been used recently have been disposed of. 9 is next. That is Here at the Track. I've mentioned that horse through a line with Alexander James. There was a position in front of that horse that time. He goes pretty well here, and generally goes pretty well on the poly track as well. I think he'll give his running, but I would just go back to the idea, might be proved wrong, but that that's a slightly weaker contest than this. Number 3 is Conquest of Power, who's got a fine chance, I think, and turns out under a penalty. Winning at Lingfield last week in the first-time visor, and out under the penalty is £4 ahead of the mark. There was an opportunity to go on the turf over the weekend and travel up north, but instead they've opted to come here. That was comfortably a personal best last time, and a first win at anything north of 5 furlongs. Certainly gets the 7. He's won here in the past. He was easing out a little bit in the market earlier, so in a few moments I'll be looking forward to seeing what price he is. King of Ithaca, number 1, is next for James Tate, who's also here. 3rd run back of the year. He's only £1 higher than for winning at Kempton in September. Broke his maiden here a couple of years ago. Tried in a hood at Donny last time. That's off. But enjoys polytrack and can certainly go well here. And let's finish with this fella, number 7, as the bell's gone. This is Ross O'Ryan's opportunity to make it successive trebles at Chelmsford in the space of a week. Last week it was 3, and he's on 2 so far. He's got Harry the Haggler, who he's ridden to 2nd on 2 occasions. The Haggler, who does most of his running here these days. He ran all right off a bit of a break last time, and I guess if you look at simple career profile, won 2nd time up last season off a similar break, or 2nd time up last autumn off a similar break, and he's handicapped to potentially strike. Yeah, we'll see. I can totally take that point. The haggler, who likes it here. Ross Orion, the man looking for 3, did speak to him earlier after the second success, and he's a long way away because we are only on May the 9th, but he is joint second favourite in lists with Ashim Murphy for the Jockeys Championship, and you won't have to have a long memory to look back to what he achieved in 2023 with an astronomic figure clocked up. And he did relay the fact that if we get to that level, of course you'd be thinking about the Jockeys Championship, but the fillip being that he wants the quality to go with it as well. He was really pleased with Forest Fairy and what she did in the Cheshire Oaks last time, but he's young, he's hungry, he's determined, he's riding a lot of winners, and inevitably you are going to be talking about Ross Orion throughout this season being one of the close pursuers to Buick, or however it plays out for the Jockeys Championship. And he's had a rather meteoric rise in the last few years or so. He could make it a treble on the day, courtesy of this horse who's handicapped to really probably strike off a mark of 60 for Stuart Williams. And I mentioned Pandora's Gift and where she's going for the trainer, his new stable star, or one of. And it'll be the Sandy Lane for her. There's 6. That's Alexander James, who's got that form tied in recently with Here at the Track. Here at the Track was second 2 weeks ago. And Alexander James, who challenged from a slightly less ideal position, perhaps, finished in 3rd. Conquest of Power's well in, officially under the penalty, after that good success last time. That was at Lingfield last week in a first-time visor. He's £4 ahead of the handicapper. Has proved he can go and do it at 7 furlongs as well, having been a horse that has shown a lot of pace to win his races at 5 prior. He's won here in the past. Did note to see whether they'd look to strike even in more so with the fact that he's got the penalty, and see if there's any further entries, but I couldn't find anything. King of Ithaca having a 3rd run back. See the case for that horse. It's only £1 higher than for winning at Kempton in September, and he did break his maiden here a couple of years ago. Poetic Jack's a big price, but can make the running for sure. Got loose before the start here last time. Let's see where he is, number 8. Hope it's all okay. Conquest of Power can be rushed up as well. So I don't think there's going to be a lack of pace. There's Poetic Jack. Hopefully he doesn't do what was... Unfortunately, the reason why we didn't see him last time, Poetic Jack, that was a couple of weeks ago, on what would have been the intended first run since December. So he's been here, or been to the track. But now, we do get to see, hopefully, what he's going to do in a racing scenario. Did win a lowly enough handicap here back in December. That was at this distance, and remains the sole success in 8. Thomas Aquinas is going forward, blindfolded. He doesn't have his usual cheap pieces. All 4 wins which have come here, 3 of which under Rab Pavlin have been in the cheap pieces. It is his first run back. Dean Ivory, as mentioned, has had a recent enough winner, and Rab stuck about after that pretty impressive filly won earlier for John and Thady Gosden. This will be a totally different test. But he said he was looking forward to his old mate, Thomas Aquinas, who's got excellent form here and finished last season on a real rattle, winning 3 of the last 4. All 3 of them here. The block came at Southall, so bring him here, and he tends to give his running. Harry the Haggler goes forward. We will go up with thanks for the final time, the last of 6 tonight, to Alan Howes.
Thanks, Nick. I just think they've put Annie Law into the wrong stall here, haven't they? She initially went into stall number 7, but she's actually drawn to go into stall number 8, so she's now gone into the correct stall. Conquest of Power now moving up, and last to load will be Poetic Jack. They're set. They're off. Racing away, it's 7 furlongs for the Bet Boost at Bet365 handicap stakes. Well into stride was Poetic Jack, who went to post early. shows up there in the white and yellow colours at the end of the opening furlong to lead from Conquest of Power, and Harry the Haggler completes the leading three. Close up behind them in fourth in the red is Annie Law. Behind her to the inside in the blue and white is Here at the Track. A little wider out is the Kingly Racing Thomas Aquinas in the yellow and green. Then the pink and black for Alexander James back through them. The spots of Golden Passport is second to last, and King of Ithaca is the back marker in the dark green. They're about to race through halfway. Poetic Jack with a lead of about 3 parts of a length over Conquest of Power, who sits in second in the pink and green. Then Harry the Haggler placed in third around the bend in. Annie Law is next to that one's outside. Then Here at the Track, Alexander James and Thomas Aquinas. Another 1 length away to King of Ithaca, and Golden Passport has dropped out to be last of all. Top of the home run, Poetic Jack now ridden for more, taken on and passed by Conquest of Power. Here at the Track, trying to move through against the running row. Harry the Haggler still has every chance. The final furlong, it's Conquest of Power and Tyler Hurd who led them inside the last. Half a furlong to go now. Harry the Haggler tries to put it all in. It's Conquest of Power from Harry the Haggler. It's Conquest of Power to win. Conquest of Power from Harry the Haggler. Up to be third near the line was Alexander James, and then came Here at the Track.
Yeah, he's got that winning thread now. Conquest of Power, who was in position A at the top of the home stretch, to go and follow up that success from exactly 1 week ago, is well in under the penalty. And this horse has clearly responded well, Conquest of Power, to the headgear going on. The first-time visor, that's worked a treat again second time. And he really does have that winning thread as one under Tyler Hurd for trainer Mark Usher, and has probably held the right horse in the form of Harry the Haggler as well, who retains that status as being competitively handicapped and has run second off a BHA rating of 60. But it wasn't to be for Ross Orion and his treble search. He was challenging from in behind the winner, who was going to prove very hard from this point to pass. And in truth, you can see the rider on the second getting busier and busier. Couple of cracks. But I think the winner's always controlled this. Conquest of Power, who'd won here in the past. He was a bit weak in the market earlier, for one that the facts and figures said he was so well in, or £4 well in under the penalty. And it's a good success. Alexander James there for third from his old sparring partner Here at the Track. They were tied in on form last time out. But that was a pretty dominant success by a horse who was very much well treated under the penalty and is having a golden spell, Angus.